Oh no. Hi guys. Um I thought I thought that maybe I would be able to come on live and not cry and like kind of be able to keep it together, but as I don't know if that's going to happen. Um but hi. Give me a second. Give me a second. I want to work on getting this set correctly. Hello everybody. Uh ugh. Oh Jesus! Oh God! Just go in there. Why won't? Oh my God! Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Shit! Wait, hold on. Hi everyone. Trying to. Oh fuck it. Just leave it like this, Eric. Gosh, stop fussing over everything all the damn time. Hi. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you guys are well. I'm okay. Jinx is okay. Jinx is around here somewhere. Um, we just got back from the vet today. Oh my goodness, guys, I have such a story to tell you. Such a story to tell you. I am going to spare you like the super gory details. However, it's really not that gory. It's just really heartbreaking. Live from Puerto Rico. It's Saturday afternoon. I love you, Lorraine. I love you all. Thank you all for being here. I promise you guys, I'm going to do my best to not cry, but that's going to be very difficult because it's still really rough. So, I'm going to do my best. You guys are welcome to cry as much as you want. um, but let's give it a few moments. Let's wait for a little more people for some more people to come in. And then we'll get into this. I also just kind of like I've been wanting to come live and talk to you guys anyway. Just because I kind of abruptly stopped everything. So thank you, Michelle. God, you guys are gonna make me cry anyway. um, yeah, I've missed you guys, and I've been wanting to tell you all along what's going on. You guys, this has been a really hard week. Oh, fuck. Hey, before we go any further, if you want, go make a quick run to the kitchen, whatnot, whatever. Grab yourself a nice cocktail, a beer, a soda, a cup of tea. Grab yourself a joint, your bowl, your pipe. Smoke them. Ah, man, let's just chill, yeah? Cheers. This is Dongku Gold. Normally I get silver. Dongku is a Puerto Rican rum. Normally I get silver, but for Thanksgiving, I treated myself to a bottle of gold. And it's fucking delicious, you guys. Like, I'm totally the type of asshole to completely drink my liquor like neat, like nothing else, not even ice. I don't even care if it's hot. Just give me the liquor. But so I mean, I don't mind drinking silver rum alone, but a good sipping rum, right? That's a dark one. And this stuff is delicious. But this is Donku Gold with Boylan's cream soda. Yum. So anyway, happy Saturday to you all. Thanks, guys. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for your love and your support and your concern and your kind messages. Gold is better, damn it. It's got more flavor. It's got more, personality. Whatever. I really can't thank you guys enough. Not only for your patience with me, I mean, given the circumstances, okay, but I'm so grateful to all of you. And I really, even though this is, talking about this is still a little bit difficult, um, I absolutely had to share it with you guys. And there's a very specific reason why, and I'll tell you as I tell the story. But I mean, basically, I feel like you guys loved him and were just as connected to him as much as I do. He and Jinx are an integral part of this channel, but that's because they're my guides. They're my familiars. Right? They are my sun and my moon. But it seems from our point of view right now that our sun has been snuffed out. But he hasn't been. And I'll explain why. But I really felt it was not only just because I wanted to, but like, and please don't take this as like it's obligatory. Like I don't find it to be an obligation, but it's I have to. It's my duty to let you guys know what happened and let you know how we are going to move forward from here. So settle in, guys. And make sure you grab like a tissue or something. I forgot to do that, but like grab like, get a box of tissues or something, because this is a tough story. This is a really tough story. And if you're squeamish or like if things like this trigger you, then please, like I said in the post, please don't feel obligated to stay and listen, because this is going to be triggering. All right. Hi, little lizard. So, I think we can get started now, yeah? Okay. So here's what happened. On Monday, hold on. So on Monday, Orion, yeah. So Orion had gone outside Monday night, and he ended up staying out all night, and that wasn't unusual for him or for Jinx really, but Jinx usually comes home. But if Orion goes out at night, or if he were to go out at night, sometimes he would end up staying out all night. Part of me feels like that was out of respect for not wanting to wake me up. Yeah, I know, Divinely Covered Empress. I feel like a lot of that was kind of out of respect because he knew that I didn't like being woken up over and over and over again throughout the night just for them to go in and out, right? So when he didn't come back that night, I really didn't think anything of it. And he didn't come back until, wait, this was Sunday night. Yes, this was Sunday night. He went out Sunday night. And he didn't end up coming back until sometime during the day on Monday. He came back, he had a little bit of breakfast. He didn't really eat much. But he was being weird. He was really weird all day. He wasn't himself, and he kept crying out. Now, both Jinx and Orion, but mostly Orion, are very, very chatty, okay? I mean, Orion was a Siamese cat, and apparently Siamese cats have a tendency towards being quite chatty. And Jinx obviously has Siamese in her because Jinx is related to him. So she kind of had a bit of that chatty quality as well. But I personally, I feel like I accentuated that because I talk to them so much, and I talk back to them, and I communicate with them. You know, I treat them like they're little people. I do that with all the animals around, and that's actually a specific point that I want to get to that we'll talk about later. But all day he was crying, just crying out all day long, all day long. It seemed uncontrollably, or at least at this point, I want to say it was uncontrollably. He was crying out. I thought he was on the defense of something because he was standing very alert. And it was almost as if he was making like a defense cry, you know? He was very much about marking his territory. So I just thought he was trying to defend against something. And that went on all day. Um, and then finally, Monday night came around and it was time for dinner. So I fed them. And Jinx was there. Orion was still outside, but you know, he sometimes goes out and does things and comes back a little bit later. He ended up coming back a little bit later, and he ate a little bit of his dinner. But as the day went on, he was getting progressively more and more and more paranoid. And there was one point where, before I had fed them dinner, I was sitting at my computer just doing my thing, and he came running into the house and jumped up on the dresser that's by that window and was like looking out the window like something was chasing him. So, okay, I mean, I didn't think too much of it until the incessant crying out continued all day and into the night. And hi, Varouche. And it was like around 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night, and he had come inside, and so I had closed the door because, you know, it was indoor time. You know, we were in for the night. But it was at this point that I realized that something was very wrong, because his energy was scaring me. And like I said, he was getting more and more paranoid throughout the day. And by the time the night came, he was visibly paranoid and scared and was starting to get a little aggressive. And he kept crying out. And at one point, the door was closed and he was standing in front of the door, and he made this cry that to me sounded like, "Let me out of here." So I said, okay. I mean, it scared the shit out of me. But I was like, okay. And I let him outside. And right after I let him outside, he started crying out again. But this time it was real guttural, a very deep, anxious-ridden, agony-ridden cry. And right after that, he started making sounds as if he was fighting something. But there was nothing around. At least I don't think there was anything around. I didn't see what he was fighting, I just heard it. And it was by this point that I had already gotten the intuitive hit. I think, chickens. At this point, I had already gotten the intuitive hit. I think he might have contracted rabies. So I was looking it up, and I was looking at the signs and the symptoms, and one of the symptoms is that the animal or the cat will start crying out uncontrollably, nonstop. Because it's at this point that happens because the virus has now, if they have contracted rabies, the virus has now gotten into their system and has worked their way through their nervous system and is now entering the brain and is taking over. And once this starts to happen, that's when cats become like they're not themselves. They become paranoid, anxious, they get aggressive, and that's when the point where they can start attacking other animals or other humans. And so I had read about this, and I was terrified at this point. And then I let him outside that last time, and it sounded like he had gotten into a fight with something. So I was like, oh fuck no, oh fuck. And so at this point, it was where I realized that he was a danger to himself and to every other living thing around. So I said, okay, I gotta catch him. I have a cat carrier. I gotta catch him. I gotta put him in there, and we'll leave him in there overnight, because it was at this point, it was like 8 o'clock at night. There were no emergency animal services available. All of the vets were closed. There's no like emergency animal control or anything that was available. I called 911. That didn't work out so well. So it was basically at this point that I realized that I was on my own here. So my plan of action was catch him, get him in the cat carrier, and hold him there overnight. First thing in the morning, I'll rush him to the vet. Now, also at this point, I was starkly aware of the fact that if he had contracted rabies, at this point it was too late. It was too late to save him because the virus was already taking over. Hi, Anna. So at this point, I was fully aware and accepting of the fact that Even if I was able to get him to the vet in the morning, they were most likely going to euthanize him. And I had fully accepted that. There was nothing I could do about it. So, okay. But then he broke out of the carrier. Now, granted, the first time he broke out, it was easy. You know what I mean? It's a mesh, or it was a mesh carrier with a bunch of zippers. Like, all he had to do was, like, take his claw and open the zipper up at the very bottom, you know, naturally, just as it normally functions, and boop, he got right out. Okay. Kind of to be expected. I was kind of afraid that he was going to break out, but all right. So at that point, he got out, but then he disappeared. And I couldn't find him, and I was calling to him, but he had disappeared. So I said, okay, well, he'll be back eventually, because he kept coming back home, right? So I knew he would come back eventually, and so I laid down and kind of fell asleep a little bit, and then I woke up to him calling out again hours later, and I was like, okay, great, here's my chance. So this was at this point, it was like 5 a.m. on Tuesday. Hi, Rufus. Hi, Miss Lady. The chickens are coming to hang out. So it was at this point, it was like 5 a.m. on Tuesday. And I heard him in the area, so I got up, I put on a bunch of layers just in case he got aggressive and tried to like scratch or bite me. And I went outside and I caught him again. Now, he never got aggressive with me. He never attacked me. He never tried to bite me or anything. Anytime he would hear my voice, he would calm down. And he would let me approach him. He would let me pick him up, even though he was scared shitless, right? So I caught him a second time, and I put him in the cat carrier. And this time, I zip-tied it closed, because it had zippers, right? And so I zipped the zipper. I zip-tied the zippers together. I put like 3 zip ties in it, and I left the cat carrier right outside the front door with the light on and everything. But he was so anxious that he did not want to be contained. And he broke out a second time. Now this time he broke out of it in a way that like, he kind of ruined the zipper. You know how when you have a zipper and you zip it closed, but then you can like, you open it up and it kind of breaks it and you have to like finagle it to get it to work again? That's what had happened. But at this point, it became blatantly obvious to me that I was not going to be able to contain him. And I was definitely not going to try and keep him in the house. So it was at this point that it became very obvious that I had no choice, because he could not be contained. And not only was he a danger to me and Jinx, but he was a danger to all of the other animals, especially all the wild chickens we have around here. Like, the last thing we need is some rabid chickens running around, right? We also really don't need any of my neighbors to be attacked by my rabid animal. So it was at this point that I had to put him down. And unfortunately, no one else was available. There were no emergency services available. So I had to do it myself. That was really, really hard. And I knew if he had in fact contracted rabies, this was exactly what was going to need to happen, but I didn't want to have to do it myself. I was like, let me just get him to the vet and they'll euthanize him and it'll be okay, but I just didn't have that luxury. So Orion passed at about 5:30 in the morning on Tuesday. And he's buried in the back. But, and you're right, Mama. I know other people have told me the same thing. I did the right thing. I know I did the right thing. I know I did the right thing. I know I did the right thing. It doesn't make it any easier. You guys, I have trouble killing roaches, let alone my own cat. Yeah. Oh, Amber, Orion is gone. You came in kind of at the end, but it's suspected that Orion had contracted rabies, and he had to be put down. And unfortunately, at the time that all of the understanding of what was going on came through, it was way past business hours. And so I ended up having to do it myself. There you go. Here's the recap. And so he's buried in the back. There's actually this one spot that immediately I thought of, because I thought maybe I should take him to the ocean and release him there. That way, you know, we don't run the risk of some animals trying to dig him up or anything, but I knew exactly where he needed to go. There's a little space in the back that looks like it's prepared for some sort of like garden or something, but it doesn't get that much sun, so I don't know if it would be the right place, but that is immediately where I thought of. So he's buried back there. Now, yeah, that's his spot. So right after he passed, I was just kind of sitting there next to him, processing what was happening. And hello, sir. And I got a vision of him. And this is where we get into the part of this that I really wanted to bring to the collective. You guys remember hearing me talk about the Law of One, right? Months ago, I was reading that book and was really interested, and I was talking about it. But in that book, right, Amber? I probably would be too. But anyway, in the Law of One, it's explained, part of like the evolutionary process is explained, and how the soul goes through an evolutionary process of moving through the dimensions. So you start in the first dimension, which is minerals and the elements, fire, earth, air, and water. And you experience existence through that. And then you move to the second dimension, which is... Yo, chickens are fucking crazy, man. I'm sorry. Chickens are nuts. Anyway, then you reach the second dimension, which is the flora and the fauna, right? So you've got your plants and your animals. And it's within the second dimension that you are part of a collective mind. So that's where we get into situations of like, you know, animals rolling in packs and everything like that, right? And then from there, you progress up into the third dimension, where you start to achieve a sense of individuality. And then you continue up the dimensional ladder with your sense of individuality intact as you move closer and closer towards becoming one with Source again. And that's how I fully understand it that way. And so that's why I pay so much time and attention towards personifying animals. So, and I saw that the most within Jinx and Orion. And I was very conscious of that, and I kept that in my mind. And whenever I would communicate with them, I still do it with Jinx. I as you guys know, I've named the roosters, at least some of them. I don't name the chickens or the hens because there are too many of them, but the roosters are distinguishable enough for me to name them. I give everything an identity. And even my plants, you know. So right after he passed, I was sitting with his body, and I was just processing, going through the motions, and I got a vision of him standing beside me in human form. Now, he didn't have human form like, you know, features or anything, but I could feel it was a masculine energy, and he was standing about my height, maybe a little bit taller than me, in the shape of a human. And he was basically telling me that he's free, that I helped him, and that he's still here, and that he's not going anywhere. okay. So that was nice. And then I proceeded with the burial. And of course, before I actually buried him, I drove down to the local, the bakery that's like down the block, and I bought a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of rum because I needed a fucking drink. And by the time his burial was finished, I was trashed. Okay, let's just say I was trashed at like 6 in the morning, but I was trashed. And in the midst of everything, I ended up losing my keys. And a day went by. That whole day went by. My friend Kira ended up coming and picking me up. She took me down to the emergency room so I could get checked, and just in case. He never scratched or bit me, but Jinx did scratch me. But that was fine. But I needed to go to the emergency room just in case I needed to get a shot, like a rabies shot or something. They didn't give me one because he didn't attack me, so okay. And then I came back. I spent the night. This was all the day of, right? Because he passed at like 5 in the morning. So I ended up spending that night on Tuesday at Kira's. And then I came back home the day after. And I spent most of the day just trying to process and trying to find my keys to no avail. And it was like, and I ended up digging his grave up twice just to make sure I didn't bury my keys in there with him, but I didn't. So now he's safe and secure back there. We won't be digging him up again. And he is being released back into the earth, which is exactly what he and I and all of us wanted. So, okay, beautiful. And so I was without a car for a day or two. Fast forward, just to end this part of the story, we had a landscaper here yesterday. And I had already had somebody come and rekey the car, which turned out to be really excellent, really awesome, because when the guy came to make a new key for my car, he ended up taking the side panels off of the driver's and the driver's side door, or the passenger's side door of the front. And when he did that, I was able to fix the driver's side speaker in my car that was never working because the cable, yes, he was Siamese, because the cable wasn't attached to it and it was loose in the door. So he took that panel off, I fixed the speaker, and it works now. Great. So that was a huge plus. But then, like I said, we had a landscaper here yesterday, and I told him, I was like, hey, I lost my keys out here. If you find them, keep an eye out for them, just let me know. And he was like, okay, I'll definitely do that. So the guy came, he rekeyed my car, I went out, ran a bunch of errands, got some groceries, came back, and the landscaper says, hey, I found your keys. So now I have 3 sets of keys for my car, 3 keys for my mailbox, and yeah, so that worked out great. So anyway, this was Wednesday night. That was Thursday. Wait, I'm losing track. Anyway, so to finish the story of Orion, and this is where we get into really what I want to tell you guys. So I ended up having a dream about him. Let's see, I think Wednesday night into Thursday, I had a dream about him. And in the dream, I was taken to a house by one of my lead guardian angels. And we entered into the house, and Orion was there in his human form. I still don't see physical features. I didn't actually see physical features of him, but I knew he was there because I saw about 3 or 4 other feminine angels. And I know they were angels because my 3D self was very intimidated by them and felt like I was kind of in trouble. I always feel like I'm in trouble when it comes to the angels and my guides because I'm such I can be very petulant sometimes. But anyway, but he was there and nobody said anything. There was a TV in front of us, but I couldn't see what was on the TV because I was just processing what was going on. But he was there and he was standing behind me and he was holding my butt I kid you not, you guys. I was standing there, my other angels around me, and he was behind me, holding my butt. And I could feel an intense sexual energy between us. Um, but it's creative, it's love, it's, it's all that stuff. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, I came back, and the dream was over. And I didn't really understand what was happening until yesterday, when I was sitting there thinking about it, just thinking about that dream. And that's when I remembered. And that's when I knew, oh, hi, Paul. That's when I knew that it was, in fact, Orion. Now, I had a strong feeling because the features and the energy that I felt in the dream, hi, Jinxie. The features and the energy that I remember in the dream was directly related to what I had already known him to be. But this was the point that made me know that it was him, because he was holding my butt. And he used to love to have his butt scratched. I mean, Jinx loves it too. All cats like that. But he loved it, right? It was almost as if it felt like it turned him on or something. It was so weird, but he loved it. But whenever I would do that, I would say, I got you butt, Orion. I got it. I got you butt. It's you butt and it's mine. I got it, Orion. I got you butt. You can't tell me nothing. And so what did he do in the dream? Without actually saying it, he was telling me, now I've got your butt. Whoa. And so now he is a part of my team. And not only is he a part of my team, but he's a part of your team too. And he wants you to know that. He's desperately asking me to remind you and to tell you guys that if you ever need him, he will always be there with you, okay? My spirit team, my angels, are just as much yours as they are mine, all right? So please reach out to him, because he wants to help. And if you do, and you hear from him, please let me know. I would love to hear how he relates to you. And maybe even what he looks like to you. That's not really important. And you know what the interesting about it is? He feels like he's a big part of the core team, and always has been. He's part of the upper echelon of angels that we have guiding us. And I swear to you guys, man, he was an angel. He was literally an incarnated angel. Incarnated angel, excuse me. And so is Jinx. But like I mean, if you were to just look into his eyes, first of all, they were the most gorgeous, crystal clear blue eyes I have ever seen. And I know it's cliche and stereotypical, but like even the angels that I saw in my dream were all white. They all had blonde hair. But that's not a race thing. It's not a racial thing. It has to do with the energy. So, wrong way, buddy. Good God. Good God. Yo. Hey! Sorry. Sidebar. Chickens don't just mate, they rape. So I was trying to break something up there. Anyway. What was I saying? Where were we? Oh. But he was, I mean, he literally, he was an angel incarnated. And if you were to just be able to look into his eyes, there was this love that just poured out of him. It was palpable. It could not be mistaken. Sorry guys. I know that was rough. I can be fairly defensive. And even if I was having a bad day, all I had to do was just look into his eyes, and immediately I could feel how happy he was. And that immediately made me happier. But the other really cool thing about this is that he is distinctively one of the male guides that I consciously know that I have, other than, like, say, my grandfather on my mother's side, or any other masculine energies from my family, maybe that I don't not consciously know of, but Orion is one of them. And it was so heartbreaking to think about how, Jinx and Orion are my representation of the masculine and the feminine. And even down to their color. Jinx is black and she's female. And Orion was Siamese, but he had lots of, he had white on him. But he was Siamese and masculine and male. So they were literally my sun and my moon. They are my sun and my moon. So, and I'm not surprised that this happened to him because he was always fighting. I don't even really think he picked fights. There were these two cats that were in the area. One I know was feral. The other I feel like might have been feral or might have been owned by one of my neighbors or something, but they would always fight him. And they were male, but they would always attack him. And so I'm not surprised that this happened, but all of this is kind of a testament to, like, the masculine and the feminine, right? The masculine is taken out first because the masculine is the one that goes and gets ready to fight, to defend. And so he's gone because he fought. He fought to defend his property, his space, his family. He was constantly out here marking things. So now Orion is part of our angel team. And I really want you to understand that you can call on him at any time. He is asking me to tell you this. But I guess that's all I have to say. So needless to say, I know, it's still hard for me to believe it too, but needless to say, I am quite behind on work right now. I have a number of personal readings to do to catch up on. Plus, I still want to finish some of the videos that I've been working on. But I'll get there. Is that why I don't, I named him Orion because Orion was always my favorite constellation in the sky. But I never really did any research into it. Maybe, yeah, I'll look into that as to why that was his name. But anyway. Thanks, Justine. So, I have a lot of catching up to do, but it's already almost Saturday night, and I'm not going to force myself into anything this weekend. I'm going to do my best to get started on Monday. Please be patient with me, but to those of you that have been patient with me, Divinely Comfort Empress is definitely one of them. Thank you guys so much for your patience. He's not gone. He keeps reminding me of that. I keep saying, I miss you. I want you to come back. And he's like, Eric, I'm standing right here. He's right there. And it's interesting, you guys, because I've always grown up with pets. Like, we've always had cats. And when Lucky died, who was one of our, well, Missy was our first cat, and then we got Lucky. And even when the two of them died, I wasn't so upset. But this one, I mean, I guess it's who he was to who he is to me, but also how it happened. I miss him, you guys. And things are so weird now. I mean, thank God I still have Jinx. Jinx went to the vet today, by the way. She went to the vet. Both of them were due for their rabies shots, but Jinx went today. She got all her shots. So she's safe. She's good. And I'm still so grateful for her. But man, do I miss him. God, I miss him so much. Hi, Deborah. Did he get attacked, Anna? I think so. He was injured before this happened. His something was wrong with like his paw or his leg or something for a while. He was living on it, but I couldn't find a puncture wound or any sort of like open wound or anything. And by the time I really realized it was something, it was the weekend, and the vets are closed over the weekend. So I was like, all right, well, Monday morning we'll take him to the vet. But then by Monday he was getting better. So I was like, all right, cool. I guess not. And then a week later he was gone. I need to stop saying that because he's not gone. He's not gone. He's an angel. He still lives. And he's gonna come back. He's coming back soon. I feel like, I strongly feel like he's gonna be human when he comes back. Because he already has that personification. He already has that identity that I helped him achieve. So really, it was time for him to go. It was time for him to move on to the next phase of his existence. So, and somebody here, it mentioned, I don't remember who it was, but somebody here mentioned that, it was probably better that I was the one that did it and not some random stranger. That's traumatizing though. Like, I don't beat myself up for that. Like for the first day, I had this tape running through my head. I killed him, but I saved him. I saved him from suffering. Hey, New Moon. It was by my hands, literally by my hands, that he transitioned back into the spirit form where he could make preparations for his next journey. And quite frankly, I don't think I would want it any other way now that I think about it. I don't want anyone else taking him away from me. It was my duty. It was my responsibility. I was helping him grow. I was helping him see. I was helping him be. And so I helped him pass. I helped him move forward. Part of me is saying this was all ritualistic. Yikes, it's creepy. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Anna, you just said something really important. Because this has been a really traumatic year for me. Ooh, 44 on the counter. This has been a really traumatic year for me. And let me tell you, it's sure going out with a bang, huh? But What this has taught me, what this has shown me, is how strong I am and how much I actually can achieve on my own. And I say that part lightly because it's not like I'm meant to do everything on my own, but there is a level of self-sufficiency that needs to come into play. I mean, we talk about this energy of sovereignty all the time, right? Sovereignty is self-sufficiency. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Hey, you know what, Stephanie? Can you tell them, and if the girls are watching, hi girls, please, whatever you think is best, I want your hearts to guide you, okay, ladies? You do whatever you feel in your heart is right. Don't let any stupid, jaded adult, obviously not your mother, but don't let any adult, jaded, twisted adult tell you that your heart is wrong. So follow your heart. So whatever you feel you want to do tonight, ladies, I greatly appreciate it. And I love you back. Okay? Okay. Okay. I don't remember where we were. Oh, how that I'm strong and I can do a lot, and that's great. Yeah, I understand, Akira. That's true, Varush. You're right. We did make this agreement before we came down here, but making the agreement before you incarnate is one thing. Getting down here and actually experiencing it and following through with it is a whole other monster. It's a whole other monster, you guys. Never easy. But also, it's not supposed to be easy, right? Okay. Come on, guys, let's take a little trip. Let's take a little trip. Now, I hope this works. We're on my mobile data right now, but we're gonna go down. We're gonna go down. Hopefully I have enough service, but I don't know. I wasn't really planning on doing this before, but it feels right in this moment, so we're gonna do it here. There's my baby boy. Back to the earth he goes, where his flesh goes. And his spirit lives on with us. So you're getting a back view. For those of you that are on Patreon, and you would see me sitting outside on a log, this was that space. I would sit right here. I would sit here and record videos, and so you'd see all this in the background. And there was even one point, a few times where I'd be sitting here and like say one of them would be on that stump and the other would be on that stump. It was like the most perfect thing ever. It was crazy perfect. But this is our backyard. We're part of it. And this is where he's been laid to rest. Oh, New Moon, thank you so much for that. Yeah, my phone service is kind of shit here. But anyway. So, that's the story. He lives on through our hearts and our memories. I don't remember whose video it was that I did on Mystic Unicorn last week. Maybe it was one of the water signs. Oh, hi, Stella. That's okay, Stella. Don't worry about it. You'll be able to watch it later. But if you guys go on Mystic Unicorn, I don't remember which sign it was. But last week I was recording one of the readings for Mystic Unicorn, and Orion came in, and we had like a full-blown conversation for like a good 30 to 45 seconds. So his memory lives on there as well. Yes, and he did. He came into your personal reading too, New Moon. That's right. I was sitting out here. He used to love to sit out here with me. So I would actually come out and sit right against that pole there, because during the day, 555, during the day, this area gets a lot of good sun. So I would come out here and I would sit right against that pole back there. And then he would lay right next to me on those metal grates over there. Oh, Michelle, thank you. Thank you so much, Michelle, for that donation. But yeah, this was one of his favorite spots to sit with me. And he would demand that I come out with him. Especially if I was spending all day inside at my computer, he would come in and scream at me until I was like, all right, fine, Orion, I'm coming. And I would come outside, and both he and Jinx would get so excited. And they would run out with me, and they're like, yay, we're going on an adventure. And I was like, yeah, we're going on an adventure, guys. And I used to dream about taking them back to the Northeast with me. Hi, Jinxie. Look, say hi, Jinx. Where is she? There's Jinxie. Well, there's Jinxie's butt. But I would dream about, it's so crazy, because I would sit here and I would look at him, just stare at him because he was gorgeous. And I would get this feeling of being back in New York, but being upstate. And going on trips in the woods with them, and going exploring out in the woods and seeing what they thought of the woods up northeast. He's only going to be able to do that in spirit now, unless he does reincarnate and he's back in my life, and maybe he's a child, or maybe he's another cat. I don't know, but they follow me everywhere. There were some mornings where I would get up really early, and I would come out and I would go up on top, because my apartment is at the bottom of this hill. So I would go up on top and I would sit out there and I would look up at the stars, and he and Jinx would come with me and sit out front with me. They literally followed me everywhere. We went on adventures together all the time. He was such a lovely being. He still is a lovely being. I have to train myself to stop speak of him as if he no longer exists. He does still exist. He does still exist. And he's saying to me, I'm coming back one day. He says, you better get ready for it, because I'm coming back with a bang. He's excited. There was a moment yesterday when I was feeding Jinx, and he was saying to me, oh my God, Eric, this is so cool. I can finally see things from your point of view now, as a human. And I was like, yeah, baby boy, this is what it looks like from up here. He says, this is awesome. I'm so grateful to you for teaching me these things. You showed me more than I could have ever dreamed of. And this is only just the beginning. He's coming back and he's guiding us here. So please reach out to him if you feel as though you want to. Make that connection with him. If you would like for him to guide you, he's there. Please just ask, he's saying. Please just ask. I'm here. I want to help too, just like my daddy did. Fuck. Oh God, you guys. Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay, I promise. Oh. Anyway. Thank you guys for being here. For listening to my sob story. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He is, you guys. He's here with all of us. He's there standing right next to each and every one of you right now. Even if you're not here watching this live, he is standing there with you if you allow him to be. He can't do so unless you say so. He is not going to invade your energy or your privacy any more than I would. I learned that specifically from you, Daddy. We don't invade people's privacy. We ask, we help if they ask. Yes, you've learned well. He's so wise. Let's take another shot then. Well, I'll take one. If you got it, cheers it up. To our brother, to our best friend, to our Mr. Man, our baby boy, our heavenly guide. We all love you so much, Orion. We will never forget you. You will always be here in our hearts, in our minds, with us as we make our transitions and as we move through our existences. You're stuck with him now, he says. We love you, Orion. We love you too, Jinxie. Hey, Jinx. Look at that. Look at that pretty, look at that pretty little girl over there. Oh, she's so pretty. She's like, don't bother me. I'm chilling. I'm keeping watch. That's my baby girl, though. That's my Jinxie cat. My Jinx Lip Bop. Yeah. She's so pretty. Yeah. All right, you guys. I think that's it. I should go now. I'll be back. I just need a little more time. But yeah, things are so weird now. Things are so weird. So different now. Yes. And I hope the girls sleep well, Stephanie. Orion will be there to greet them when they reach the dream state. They're gonna have a lot of fun together. He's excited. I love you all so much. And I couldn't be any more grateful for your love and your support. Okay, Stella. I will see you guys soon, okay? I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope you all sleep well. And look out for Orion in your dreams. Because he's coming. Okay? Bye, guys.